Hi everyone, it's me, Sally, aka Solar Tarot Magic, and we're gonna do tarot today for fire signs. So I was contemplating coming on here because the last time I did tarot videos, it was intense doing two installments. I realized I was so drained that I could never do that again, so I needed like an extra long break. But because Mercury retrograde hits people so heavy, myself included, I felt like I needed to come on here because, just from talking to friends and family, I noticed that people are experiencing it like really hard, and I felt like I needed to come on here to give people a message and some guidance. And I wanted to come on here yesterday, but my energy levels weren't there, so I just want to catch everybody up. For those of you that aren't familiar with Mercury retrograde, so Mercury governs communication, relationships, technology, transportation. So these are things that we deal with on an everyday basis. So if you've been seeing a lot of traffic, if you're having car trouble, if people are misunderstanding your text, emails aren't going through, typos, like all these things. And I feel like that's how it shows up for me. It's like all these little things that try to like test me and frustrate me and test my patience. So that's how it shows up for me. And again, this is for fire signs. So if your sun, moon, and rising is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this reading is for you. The other things I would like to update on is we're going ham this year for the street fair season. So we just did Highland Park, and that was a great kickoff. This weekend will be this weekend will be Woodbridge and Metuchen. So both events are 11 to 5. Woodbridge will be by the train station, and Metuchen will be in the downtown area. So this Saturday and Sunday, the first time I'm doing back to back. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know how my energy level is going to do, but I'm excited. I wanted to challenge myself. So we also have new events added. They are in the description. The the most the the closest event that's coming up is Piscataway Street Fair, Saturday, June 11th. And Somerville got canceled, so that's why I was kind of in a little bit of a frenzy to had all these new events. I was like, okay, well, this one needs to be replaced because last year we were only able to do 5, and we were scheduled for more, but a lot of them got canceled because of COVID. So I was like, all right, let's overdo a lot. So if some get canceled, it's not so bad. So that's what I ended up doing. And now I'm like, wow, because like now I have like 3 or 4 back to back. There's like Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm like, whoo, how are we going to do? Okay. So if you would like a personal reading, you can always DM me on Instagram, or you can text me. My number is 732-314-0777. And if you're liking my videos, please comment, subscribe, share, and like. Okay, so I gave you the gist of the Mercury retrograde. You might hear me talk about birth chart. I highly suggest you do your birth chart. So this past weekend, I was with my mom for Mother's Day, and she tried telling me that the time that she gave me was wrong. So I had to redo my whole birth chart. I was like, are you for real? Like, I was like, what is life? Like, I mean, I know a lot of people aren't like me, but I take my birth chart as my blueprint, and to know that my rising was different was really serious to me. I was like, Mom, like you just turned my world upside down. Like, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so these are the cards I'm using. I'm using a Life is Like a Board Game Tarot. I haven't used this deck in a while. And then, as always, Empress Tea Party Oracle. Okay, so we're gonna find the message. What's the upcoming challenges for fire signs this Mercury retrograde? Because I'm already feeling it. I'm like all agity all the time, and I'm just like, oh, and I can't even explain it. It's just, I don't like it. All right, what is the message for fire signs? Give me one oracle card. What is the message for them this Mercury retrograde season? Okay, so the oracle card you got is stuck is just a feeling. And, this might be something that resonates with me too, where it's like you may be feeling like things aren't working out the way you want, and this is kind of saying don't let it deter you just because things are falling through or you have to try harder, you need to pivot. It doesn't mean to give up. It doesn't mean like stop what you're doing. It just means things are a little bit harder, your patience will be tested, but this is still your path. Like this is still where you're supposed to be. Sometimes resistance feels like, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this, but that's not always the case. So you really have to like tune into your emotions and your intuition. Okay, so we'll take that message with us with the tarot read. And I love this deck, and I forgot about it because I had it in one of my tarot boxes, and I was like, why don't I use this deck more? Because it's so much fun, the Monopoly looking one. And then I can just read the little messages, bonus messages. Okay, what is the message for fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What's coming up for them this Mercury retrograde season? And Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Gemini. So if you have Gemini in your chart, it's going to impact you a little bit more. Okay. What is the present energy for fire signs? Let's find out what the message is. Okay. Okay, so you got the tower, and look at that. It's a little broken hotel piece from Monopoly. All right, so this is telling me you're in it. You're in a hot mess. You're in a flaming garbage pile where you're just like, okay, dig, digging deep. And you're just like, okay, shit might be falling apart. Things might be falling through. Your plans might not be working the way you wanted. And this might be what's making you feel stuck. But remember about perspective and what I always say about the tarot, because nobody likes the tower. And it's basically you're reconstructing your life. And this could be at home or your career, or you're going through a lot of changes. And again, this is how your test is showing up. This is how your retrograde is showing up, where either people are telling you, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then they don't, or just like failures and missed opportunities. But this does not define you. This does not mean you're failing. This just means things are rough right now, and this period will pass, but it is necessary to go through this. You're going to learn lessons, you're going to feel it, and you're going to let go of the outcomes, because that's the main lesson here. Because if you feel stuck, it's because you're attached to something that cannot happen. And you're like, don't vice grip it, because then you're just going to feel even more lost. So you got to just surrender, because these circumstances are just not in your control. Okay, so what is the past relevant to the situation? Okay, so in the past, you were in a period of happiness and content, and the contrast between these two, that's why you're feeling it really hard, because there was a time where you're like, oh, I'm top of the mountain, nothing can go wrong. And we all know these periods don't last. Whether it's good or bad, they don't last. So it's like, okay, you got to ride that wave. So appreciate the fact that you had this moment, but now it's time to get your hands dirty, is what I'm getting from this. You are built for this, though, is what I'm getting. Okay, what is the future energy? Knight of Pentacles reversed. Messenger of slow, steady. So I feel like in the future, you're going to feel impatient of like, when is this tower event going to end? Why am I still in this? What's going on? Why is this constantly, and maybe it's affecting you on all fronts, and that's why you're like, uncomfortable. And what I want to say is, when you're in this moment and you feel whatever discomfort, whatever's like frustrating you, just remember again that it's temporary and there are lessons to be learned. And maybe people are looking at you and they're like watching you like, wow, look at that fire sign go. Like, even though they have a rough time, like, they're doing it with style, because you might feel out of control, but somebody could see you on the outside and be like, wow, they got their shit together, because that happens a lot more than we know. And you never know who's watching. I mean, that makes me feel better. So I'm hoping it makes y'all feel better too. Okay. So why is this all happening? Okay, so what I want to say right now is be careful what you wish for, fire signs, because okay, you were happy, right? But if we even go further back than that, you got 4 of Cups, which is not interested place. And I feel like before this, I'll call it a karmic cycle, but it could just be a time period. Before this karmic cycle began, you were bored. You were bored out of your mind because you didn't have nothing going on. Everything was being the same. And I know fire signs need to be stimulated. We don't like being bored. And I fall in that category too. So you were like, I need something to shake up my life. I'm tired of the mundane and everything is so predictable. I need some excitement. So you actually wished for this moment. So okay, the tower is like, it's very tumultuous, but it's exciting, and not knowing, like, there's a thrill in that. So so remember, when you're struggling, remember that you asked for this. You asked for change. You asked to be excited. You asked to be stimulated. And this is what this card is telling me. 4 of Cups is that you were bored out of your mind and you wished for something bigger and better. Well, in order for bigger and better things to happen, the old stuff needs to go away. So that's exactly what's happening. So yes. And I follow like other spiritual pages on social media, and they always says like, remember, if things are going bad, remember that it's your fault. Remember, and it's just very like hard hitting, but it's true, because you gotta hold yourself accountable. Like, did I want this? Is this something that I need to go through? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. And this is what Mercury retrograde is showing you, that you wanted this. You wanted it. All right. What is the best possible outcome? Ooh, 2 of Wands, forward movement gardens. So this is telling me that, again, like what I just said, all of this is necessary. You being bored, you being happy, you being stressed and struggling, and maybe this period's going to last longer than you want, but it's for bigger and better things. Like, I see this as a level up for you. I see this as an upgrade, where once the dust settles, you're going to be like, you know what, I'm good, because this is what I wanted. And you're going to realize, okay, maybe I was dramatic or overreacting, or being fussy, but my hard work paid off, and I stuck in there and I did what I needed to do, and this is it now. This is my moment. This is my glory. This is what I've been working towards. So it's not for nothing. You're not suffering like aimlessly or lost, or this is all for a mission. This is all for a cause. And so if you feel this way, it's because you're in the middle of everything. But once you're out of it, you're going to be like, wow, okay, this all makes sense now. I needed to go through this, and everything is going to be okay. Fire signs, you got this. Like, I feel like Mercury retrograde doesn't hit you as much as the other element signs. However, because we're very impatient and like to pop off, that it can become like an avalanche. So don't let yourself spiral. And that's the message I'm getting from this. But you have big things coming. Like nothing, anything worth fighting for that's really hard, like it means you have big rewards coming, like high risk, high reward. That's what I get from this, like major roller coaster vibes. Okay, so that is the reading for you, fire signs, and you could take that with you for this Mercury retrograde season lasting until June 3rd. Again, if you would like a personal reading, please text or DM me on Instagram. My number is 732-314-0777. Or you can catch me at a street fair and you can check where I'll be. The schedule is in the description of this video. And I will be at, wait, hold up. I will be at Woodbridge and Metuchen this weekend. I don't have my glasses on. I had to squint. All right. All right. I will see you next time. And I'm going to do air signs next. Bye.